Time to jump into our Global Investor Challenge now. 4 really interesting companies from our network lined up for you today. Have a quick look now at the startups. Today we had a nice amount of applications that came in and had quite a tough job at shortlisting it down to 4. I wanted to thank, first of all, our partners here at the EIPP for assisting us in gathering the many applications we have received. For those of you that don't know yet, the European Investment Project Portal, this is the EU's platform connecting entrepreneurs with private investors, and there's over 1,000 different profiles of companies searching for investment on the portal now. Our team is going to share with you the link to go and check out not just the companies presenting today, but actually all of the ones featured on the platform. Since we did have a long list of excellent companies, we also chose an additional 6 that we would like to acknowledge. They were absolutely excellent. You can see them shown with their names and logos on the slide. And by the way, at the very end of this pitching session, we'll be giving you also the details to get in touch with the startups that we're showcasing to you this afternoon. But let's go now and just do a quick rundown of the 4 companies we have today. We'll be hearing them in this order. First up, you will be hearing from Mirai Medical, which is an Irish cancer medical device company that utilizes precision electroporation to improve the outcomes for cancer patients. Second up, we'll be hearing from EverSens. This is a Spanish company specializing in the design, development, and manufacturing of non-invasive clinical diagnosis systems. Third up, from the UK, we'll be hearing from Enigma Recovery. This is a startup specializing in the design, development, and manufacturing of non-invasive clinical diagnosis systems. And fourth, up today, EMPE Diagnostics, which is a Swedish-based company offering DNA-based diagnostic test kits that identify tuberculosis bacteria. Those are the companies. Now I'd like to just turn it over real quick and introduce the jury and actually ask that the jury members say 2 brief words about themselves. I think we can start with Peter and then proceed with the other jury members as they are shown here on the slide. So Peter.
Yeah, briefly, thank you. Thank you, Jacopo. Thank you, Michael. I'm an entrepreneur and angel investor with over 70 investments. I'm also president of the European Business Angel Network at the moment. Thank you.
And Nina.
I guess I'm next. Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be in Cork virtually. Looking forward to the beer with it next time in person. I'm an angel investor in ICT B2B companies based in Zurich, Switzerland, and an advisor to the Swiss ICT Investor Club. And happy to be here today.
Nina and Orla.
Good afternoon all, my name is Orla Remington. I'm a partner with Kernel Capital. We're a VC firm that invests in tech companies throughout Ireland. Unlike Herman, I don't have a private beach behind me, but we do have a good track record. We've had 70 portfolio companies and generally we invest in the 1 to 5 million range.
Thanks, Orla. And last but not least, Ger. Maybe some microphone issues. Let's move on.
Hi,
okay.
My name is Jeremani. Pleased to be here. I've worked across different industry sectors from food, financial services, technology. Over the last 25 years, I've been involved in quite a few startups, founder and co-founder, with 3 successful exits. I suppose my focus in the last 5-6 years has been on scaling businesses. So I took what Herman and Julian were saying as a key point, scaling businesses, lots of startups, but how do we scale them?
All right, that was our jury. Now it's time to hear the pitches. I'd like to call up Declan Soden, one of the founders of Mirai Medical, for his 5-minute presentation. Declan, whenever you're ready, I'll be keeping the time for you. You can start by sharing your screen.
Great, thanks. Can you see that? So,
Perfect.
Good afternoon. My name is Declan Soden and I'm the CEO and founder of Mirai Medical. We're a cancer medical device company based here in Ireland. And our goal as a company is to utilize a technology called electroporation to improve the outcomes for cancer patients. Essentially, our solution for treating solid tumors is to deliver very short microsecond electrical pulses called electroporation directly to the tumor. This renders the tumor cells porous and allows for uptake of therapeutic agents far more effectively. We take advantage of the fact that tumor tissue is more conductive than the surrounding healthy tissue in order to target it with precision and as a non-toxic treatment without destroying or causing side effects in the patients. The technology is a non-thermal based treatment and is particularly advantageous where healthy tissue preservation is important. Our technology platform revolves around the EPOR generator, which creates these ultra-high frequency electrical pulses and enables the treatment to be delivered without muscular contractions. We have the associated single-use probes, the QDIS for external treatment, and the Indove for endoscopically accessible cases such as for esophageal and colorectal cancer. All of the system is now CE approved, and we have clinical studies completed demonstrating the benefits of the technology. As an example of the benefits with the Indove device, here is an esophageal tumor treated before and after with the Indove. For the patient prior to treatment, they would have had great difficulty swallowing and eating with a poor overall quality of life, as you can imagine. You can see 4 weeks after a single outpatient treatment with Indove, the excellent tumor regression that's been achieved. And this importantly was possible without destroying or damaging the underlying musculature of the patient's esophagus. We have studies completed and published, with more studies currently ongoing to fully validate the clinical and cost benefits of our technology. In terms of the number of patients diagnosed every year, where we're aiming our target, our technology, there are around 45,000 esophageal cases in the EU and around 83,000 in our target markets of the EU, US, and Japan. There are just over 200,000 stomach cancer cases and nearly 600,000 colorectal cancer cases. In the skin, where our technologies have benefit for patients with comorbidities, which is around 15% of that market, there are in excess of 3.9 million cases per year. So looking at the business case for our technology, the pain points currently for clinicians, patients, and healthcare systems involves typically the late stage of diagnosis and the requirement for extensive hospitalization and theater time, which is even more problematic in the current COVID-19 environment. We have poor outcomes and side effects from current treatment options, along with the cost and managing complications which require rehospitalization. In contrast, our solution is a rapid outpatient day case procedure with no side effects and greatly reduced costs. In terms of the competition, it's really the standard of care options, surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation treatment, along with stenting for palliation of patients. We have an excellent team. I myself have worked in cancer R&D for over 20 years. Colin Ford, our Chief Operating Officer, previously was co-founder of EMPE Medical, which had a successful exit to Bard. Colin was an early investor in Mirai. Simon Ombler, our sales director, has over 20 years medical device sales experience and previously worked for a cancer medical device company. And Finn Lydon joins us as a non-exec director with experience in the medical device space. Our market entry strategy has been to work with key opinion leaders at hospitals in the EU, working to build up the evidence in support of our technology through clinical studies and publications, which we've done. We are direct sales in the UK and Germany, with distributors in other jurisdictions. There are existing reimbursement codes we are utilizing, and we plan to work with market access consultants on establishing new ones based on the benefits of our technology. We plan to engage with the FDA in 2021 to establish a market entry path there. The key milestones for Mirai are that we have a full team in place capable of delivering on our goals. Our products are all CE approved, and we have several clinical studies completed demonstrating the benefits and safety of our technology, while additional studies are also ongoing. We have IP granted on the endoscopic delivery of electroporation, and we have filed IP on our generator and the use of a unique solution for efficient electroporation delivery. We've had very positive sales traction since we obtained CE approval at the end of 2019 with customers across the EU. The Oncoderm Group in Germany have selected EPOR as their product of the year for 2020. And the largest private hospital group in the EU, the Helios Group, are currently carrying out an evaluation of our technology. On the fundraising side, we raised 1.8 million in 2018 and commenced a 2.5 million round just before COVID-19 with 1.25 million now raised, and we're looking to hopefully complete this round shortly. I'm happy to follow up in more detail for anyone who's interested in learning more about Mirai Medical. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Declan. Nice presentation and right on time. I'd like to open it up now to the jury. Anyone that has a question, just feel free to unmute.
Yes, if I could ask a question quickly. Thank you very much, Declan. Could you tell us a little bit how you plan to use the funds you intend to raise?
Pardon, could you repeat the question?
Could you give us a sense of how you want to use the funds that you want to raise? I mean, how are you going to invest the money that
Sure.
will be
Yeah,
raised?
so on the one hand, it's kind of building up the clinical evidence, so supporting the clinical studies that we need to do to kind of provide the evidence. It's working with the market access consultants to kind of provide reimbursement codes in the various jurisdictions around the EU. It's to do that initial engagement with the FDA in terms of setting a market path forward there. And then there's also kind of the investment in the product. So we need to build product as well first and place it with customers. So there's kind of a requirement for that as well. So they're the kind of key areas.
Thank you.
Orla had a question too. Go ahead, Orla.
Good presentation, Declan. Thank you. I just wanted to ask, I suppose, why now? Has anybody else ever tried to commercialize a similar technology for this use previously?
Yeah, so there's a couple of companies out there. IGEA Medical would be one initially that have kind of commercialized electroporation primarily for skin cancers. What would be different about their system is that the pulses they're delivering cause muscular contraction, so the procedure has to be done under sedation. Whereas with our generator, which is a much smaller system, more efficient, it can deliver these kind of ultra high frequency pulses, which are essentially it achieves the same result, but without muscular contractions. It means the treatment can be delivered as an outpatient treatment as opposed to requiring sedation in the theatre.
Okay, and are your patents granted at this stage?
The patent on the endoscopic delivery of electroporation has been granted, and then we have others filed.
Great, thank you.
We have a lightning quick question. Time for one really quick one.
A quick question, Declan. We met a couple of years ago, so congratulations. You've brought the company forward quite a bit since then. What's the biggest challenge that you face in scaling the business?
It's building the clinical evidence, really. In the cancer space, really, it's all about the clinical evidence to demonstrate to doctors that this is safe. So it's one thing making claims. We've done phase 1 and kind of early stage phase 2 studies, but really it's about that evidence to really kind of drive adoption is our biggest challenge.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Declan. I'd like to now welcome our EverSens and Leira Ruta to present the company.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to share my screen.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, but I don't know what's happening. Here, okay. So are you watching my screen now?
Yep, you can just put it in full screen mode. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to start. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Leira Ruta, CEO of EverSens. We develop solutions based on breath analysis, which are very useful tools for monitoring and detecting several diseases, as for example, respiratory diseases. Asthma is a global concern, affecting more than 330 million worldwide. Those people require recurrent care, so that implies a huge burden for health system. Apart from that, the COVID pandemic has led health systems almost to saturation. The current situation has shown us that there is a lack of tools in order to tackle with these problems. A common feature between those diseases is airway inflammation. Assessing airway inflammation can help professionals to diagnose, monitor, and to select the best treatment option for each patient. So we have developed EverNoa Base, which is a point-of-care device that measures airway inflammation in a harmless, non-invasive, precise, and rapid way. It doesn't require manipulation of dangerous samples, which normally is important, but especially in times of COVID, and it is cost-effective. But instead of providing a unique device, we offer a complete solution for patient management. None of our competitors have a solution like ours, which is in fact what professionals are demanding. The system consists of several EverNoa devices with different functionalities connected to a cloud platform. After being collected, data are processed with a AA algorithm and provides a complete report of the patient. This is the first multi-parameter and the only one that can offer personalized treatment support and predictive capabilities. We have 2 international patents that protect the system, and we have tested it with more than 300 patients and more than 15 doctors with promising results. EverNoa system will reduce the system burden, and also it will reduce the cost of care. And of course, it will improve the patient's quality of life. Let me tell you a little bit about the market. We have entered here because it is a huge market. In fact, it was estimated in 37 million in 2017 and growing at a 15% per year. But the most important thing is that with the launch of EverNoa system, we will boost the demand in 2 unexploited market segments until now, which are primary care and home care. In these segments, the estimated growth is more than 50% per year. Those figures show us a total market of more than 200 million in 2025. And the most important thing that I would like to highlight is that these segments are almost blue ocean markets where no competitors exist. We proposed a bait and hook model in which our devices will be offered at an affordable price with a freemium app, and in which recurrent incomes will be generated by consumables and a premium app at a very little commercial cost, EverSens aims to reach a market share of 15% in hospital in 2025, but we want to be the leader, the pioneer in the pharmacies, primary care and home care, reaching a 33% market share. In the last few months, we have reached agreement with 5 distributors in Europe which are currently marketing our devices in hospitals. We plan that they also offer EverNoa Home to the final user when it will be launched. And we have also reached an agreement with the biggest pharmaceutical company in Spain that will market our EverNoa solution in pharmacies. We plan to launch our own e-commerce in 2022 to reach directly final users. We plan to expand this strategy to other countries, and we are currently negotiating agreements in USA and Canada. And we will obtain the FDA approval in the following months. In the last few months, we have also obtained the Seal of Excellence of the European Commission, and we have been selected as one of the most promising enterprises by the EITG. We have a very experienced and complementary team. We know how to grow a profitable business from our previous experience in startups. We know how to use market tools in order to bring our product to market. And the most important thing, we know how to develop new products to keep the company beyond the state of the art. One of our clinical advisory panel members, the head, in fact, is one of the most important pulmonologists in Europe. In fact, he was awarded in the last Congress of the EACI. We are looking for 1 million euros to consolidate our market position, to complete our product development and the compliance process, and to become the leader company in breath analysis. So thank you so much, and help us alleviate our global health problem.
Thank you, Leila.
Thank you.
Jury members.
Yes, can I just ask, well done, that's a very good presentation, and you've obviously got a product there that it will be life-changing, literally, for many people. I don't do much medtech investing, so I can't ask about the technology, but it does concern me that although it's a very big market, there are some big players in this space. I mean, I'm based in Cambridge in the UK, and we have Owlstone, which has raised 50 million already on this, and it's been going about 10 or 12 years. So I just want you to talk just for a moment about how you believe you can achieve such a large market share in a very crowded market. You could create a decent business, I'm confident, but that market share is very ambitious.
Yes, I know. In fact, the forecast has been done based on the information we have collected the years before, because we obtained an ESM grant and we conducted a really profound study of the market, and we contact with several distributors. We are willing to use our solution, and based on this information of the market and also based on the information provided by our distributors, we have defined these objectives. So it's based on objective information that we have collected over the time.
Thank you.
I know it's a huge market share, of course, but you must know that, for example, in the home market, in 2025, we plan to sell 55,000 home devices, which is a lot, but in fact, it is only the 3% of the total market. So, I mean, it's...
Okay, thank you.
We have time for one quick question.
Yeah, just I suppose to add to Peter's question, I know one of your competitors has got recommendations from Nice and Gina. Are you looking to go down that route, looking for third-party validation also?
Yes, of course. We plan to go. In fact, for us, quality is a huge objective. We think always about that. We are currently working with specialists around the world, and we plan to go through these instruments in order to obtain also their recommendations.
Perfect, thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Leila, and congratulations to EverSens. Jury members, don't forget you need to write down the votes for each of the companies using the Excel sheet. If you can't find it, I think our team is resending that to you. Let's go now and listen to our third founder. His name is Aldo Del Bo. He's presenting Enigma Digital. Aldo.
I'll start sharing my screen.
Fantastic.
Okay, let me see. Let me know if you can see.
That's great.
Well, good afternoon from London. I'm Aldo Del Bo, CEO of Enigma Digital. In a world surrounded by devices, I mean, we've all lived this very strange time, and we are continuing to live this very strange time with our devices. Data are definitely at the core of our digital life. As well said by one of the main protagonists of this data era, that is Edward Snowden, the problem is not in the data protection, the problem is in data collection. I'll come back to this in a bit. In here you can see a simple scenario of what I think we've all experimented at least once. Deleting text by accident, or something can really happen to our device in which we've stored technically and every day our life, pictures, important text. Even when the major producers, manufacturers of devices are launching updates, major updates. When these updates fails, well, we all have a problem, and we recognize that we have a problem. At Enigma Digital, we professionally recover lost and deleted data from iOS devices now, and our aim is to grant to every individual a total control over the management of all this data in a secure, private, and independent way. When it comes to our solution, the solution has already satisfied more than 500,000 customers globally, helping them to recover an average, I mean, this is in total, of 1 billion of data per year. Is a tremendous number of data. We have out a commercial offering from, for 1 up to 3 devices, but the aim is to release soon an additional functionality that will be called Eraser. So we'll help people not just to retrieve, recover data, but also to permanently delete data when they need it. The entry price point is $39 US. The market out there is huge. I've just, few data. The global data recovery as a service market is expected to grow up to 4.1 billion by 2024. On the right side, you can see the number in terms of projections of devices that will be released. The more devices will be out there, the more storage space they will grant the users to use, and the more information people will include, will recover, will register into these devices. Our typical customers are people concerned about third-party usage of this data. And from the research that we've done, talking directly with customers, they are really lacking of confidence in cloud system and what the current manufacturers are producing. Same individuals that we've interviewed are interested, potentially interested, to monetize this data in the future. What Codivirus 19 has teach us as a company a lesson is that we've started to grow even more during this time. What I've really found interesting is that as a CEO of the company, I've really counted on people working more from home, and we've all together agreed that is now the time more than ever to accelerate the expansion and to accelerate the expansion into Europe, as today the UK and the USA are representing the major income for, the major bigger countries where we count the major income for the company. The expansion will be driven by strategic partnership. Cybersecurity will be the first one. And because cybersecurity is just one of the part of the same coin. So when we talk about recovery, release, and tomorrow monetization, we can't forget the fact that these devices will have to be protected. So if I have to get back to Edward Snowden, yes, collection is important, but we have to take care of all the processes around data. And of course, protection is also part of this process. I am currently part of a management team and of course of a working team that comes from cybersecurity. I personally worked for 13 years helping a company that is called Kaspersky to move forward in the cybersecurity space. I've been seated next to Eugene Kaspersky, learning a lot about protection. And one of the key messages that we were delivering at that time was all about scaring people about what can happen if an hacker gets in and stole data. Today, I'm 100% convinced that I have to, comfort people because there are professional ways to recover this data. We are asking for 1.5 million because we want to become leader in B2C monetization of data. This is the target for the next 3 years. Where we've committed as well by 2022 to make an exit. Up to today, we are on track to overachieve the goal of 1.35 million of euros, and we are a cash generative and really profitable company. Why Enigma? Because we want to help individuals to take control of their data. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aldo. Jury members, we have about 2 minutes for questions. Whoever's ready.
Aldo, quick question. You're cash generative, which is fantastic, a great achievement, great to get that revenue growth. What do you need the 1.5 million for?
Well, coming from that space, and again, coming from a Russian company, you can imagine that mostly of my investment will be done on product to make it more robust and more robust. The main competitor there are the manufacturers. Everybody thinks about iCloud offered by Apple, but within iCloud, you have to rely on Apple first. And on the other side, or you retrieve everything or nothing. We grant the possibility to go into more granular possibility to get back this information and marketing as well, because it's all into digital.
There's time for one more from the jury.
Could you give us a sense about your IT team? You are a team of 3. Who is actually developing and where are these people? Some information about them.
Yeah, so we currently, the team is made of 9 people today. we have 2 developers. I mean, it's very global. We have 2 developers, core developers. One is based in Birmingham and the other one is based in Bali, British both. And then we have 2 people in Novosibirsk. That's the development team. And then there is a project manager that is seated in Romania. That's why I love to say that we've experimented a new way to work, because we were already doing this, and Codivirus has accelerated this way to work together. And we fully rely on a master plan that is currently shared weekly through Zoom. So that's the beauty of today, let me say. And then apart from the developers, all the other colleagues, apart from the CFO, are all into digital marketing tools, so marketers.
All right, Aldo, thanks so much. That's all the time we have. Congratulations to Enigma Digital.
Thank you.
Last up, we have EMPE Diagnostics. This is a company represented by Pavan Azalapuram. By the way, heads up to the audience, EMPE's round is actually currently being led by one of our IBAN members. They're called Society, and they're based in Sweden. And they're also hosting a special investor meeting next Monday. And I think our team is going to be sharing with you also a link to sign up for that. So let's now go over to Pavan for his 5-minute presentation.
Thank you, Jacopo. Can I start?
Yes, please.
Thank you. COVID has made an impact on our lives. But now I would like your attention away from COVID-19 and let me introduce you something more deadly, which is tuberculosis. It is the world's deadliest infection, much higher than COVID-19, HIV, or malaria. Every day, more than 4,000 people die due to tuberculosis, and globally, 1.8 million people are infected. India, Eastern European countries have the highest number of TB patients in the world. The majority of the patients can be saved if they are diagnosed at the early stages, but sadly, 1 out of 3 patients are undiagnosed. What is worse is that the tuberculosis bacteria develops antibiotic resistance, and if it is not treated and diagnosed properly, it can develop multi-drug resistance. Currently, 2 out of 3 patients receive incorrect treatments. The diagnosis takes up to 6 months, and the treatment is long, up to 36 months, with the multiple antibiotics, and costs up to 30 to 300,000 euros, depending on the country. My name is Pavan Azalapuram, co-founder of EMPE Diagnostics. We develop rapid DNA diagnostics for infectious diseases, and our first focus is tuberculosis. We have completed the clinical performance validations in India and Spain, and now launching our products in world's largest tuberculosis market. We have combined a proven DNA-based molecular technology with a lateral flow chemistry and developed a user-friendly test. EMPE's diagnostic tests analyze the DNA of the bacteria directly from the patient's sputum samples. Our tests produces red lines, just like the pregnancy test, and shows the doctor if the patient has tuberculosis, and if so, which drugs to use. The key benefits of our products are rapid results that can be seen by our eyes, just like pregnancy test. It takes only less than 3 hours to produce the results from sputum samples. No advanced instruments are needed. Our solution detects majority of antibiotic resistance bacteria, and it is affordable to use. This means that the doctor can start the treatment with the correct antibiotics from the first hospital visit. Our revenue model is to sell one-time test kits. Our price is in line with competitors, between 10 to 35 euros per test. India is the initial large target market for EMPE Diagnostics. Because TB is a major health problem in India, more than 400 million people are infected. TB diagnostic markets in India is estimated to 200 million euros per year. In 2023, we will reach out to European countries and address the global market of 3.5 billion euros. During the past years, EMPE has established a large network with policymakers, governments, and hospitals. Today, we are in agreement with the large diagnostic laboratory chains, multi-specialty hospitals, and foundations that are interested to buy our products. For example, in India, Dr. Lal Path Labs, the India's largest diagnostic laboratory chains that runs 1,500 labs and 15,000 collection centers. And the foundations will help us to put our products in the rural areas of developing countries, including India. We are now in the stage of launching our research products, research-only use products in India. We aim to go EBIT positive in 2023 and reach a revenue of 40 million euros by 2025. In 2025, we aim to reach 35% market share in India and 20% in Europe and other global markets. In our team, we are 14 people. This is the board of directors at EMPE Diagnostics. The co-founder, Mats Nilsson, is a serial entrepreneur and scientific director at Science for Life Laboratory, which is the Swedish National Research Consortium. Professor Sven Hofner, the former director of WHO Supranational Reference Laboratory of Sweden, and also the advisor at World Health Organization. The chairman, Katarina, is an expert in finance and banking industry. We are now seeking a capital rise of 2 million euros at a valuation of 6 million euro. The capital will be used for the global production facility in India and reach significant sales. We are planning to go public in 2023, but meanwhile, we are an attractive acquisition option. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavan. Let's go over to our jury.
The test aligned to the design criteria set out by FIND for a TB test?
Sorry, can you please?
Sure. Is the test aligned to the design criteria that FIND have set out for a TB test?
Yes. So we strictly follow WHO guidelines, and the three products what we have developed strictly matches the WHO.
Yeah, I was actually talking about FIND, the non-profit organization.
Yeah.
Are you aware of them?
Yes, we are in discussions with them, and we have been also on their pipeline. They have published on our pipeline in 2018, and now we are again going back to them to submit our portfolio to go there.
And is the test, is it CE marked at the moment?
No, it is not CE marked at the moment. So we are still in the research phase because we are now started our regulatory process to get the regulatory approvals, and the first focus is India, and we are getting the regulatory approvals in India first, and then we will go to the CE market.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In the TB market, there's a lot of other products out in the marketplace for a long time. What's your USP in terms of your product versus the many competitors that are out there?
So first, I mean, as of today, there are only 3 diagnostic solutions that have recommended by WHO. And when it comes to they have the monopoly, and they have to buy expensive infrastructure, and also it is time consuming to do. But there is only one test that we can compare with, which can detect most of the tests, but it takes about 6 to 8 hours. And our USP is it is speed, which is less than 3 hours. We can see the results directly from the sputum samples. We do not need any special instruments. That means that the customers can buy our test kits and use it on their equipments, which is common commodity in the office.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
One last lightning quick question, if there is.
Yeah, and one small apology because this background, I was doing something and then this background popped up. I have a nice posters that we have presented in the WHO in the backdrop.
It's still good, Pavan. Anyways, thanks, Pavan,
Thank you.
and congratulations to EMPE. Meantime, I do see our jury has voted. And let me say, it was once again a very close neck-to-neck race between amazing companies. Maybe we can show the votes now on the screen and congratulate Mirai Medical for winning today's Global Investor Challenge. So congratulations, Mirai.